everybody. Elizabeth Peterson here from the Inspired Classroom. I'm happy to be coming to you after a couple of days coming off of the Classroom Reset Challenge, which was really a lot of fun with a bunch of teachers, some who came live, some who have been watching the replay. If you don't know about the challenge, let me tell you about it. It was 2 days. The first day we talked about how to improve student behaviors, and the second day, yesterday, we talked about how to practically eliminate teacher burnout. 2 topics that I know are really, really near and dear to so many teachers right about now. And if you are interested in finding more about that, I do still have the replays that are available. You can actually still sign up for the challenge. If you go to theinspiredclassroom.com/challenge, you can get in on the replays. So how good is that? So that's number one. Now, I had some follow-up questions come in. A couple from the live session, so much great engagement in those 2 sessions, which you can watch on the replays. But also some follow-up questions that came to me via DMs and emails and just chit-chat back and forth. So I wanted to go over a couple of those questions and then also give you a little sneak peek at what the Classroom Reset group coaching program is actually all about. Okay, so let's talk about the follow-up questions from the challenge, because there were some really great ones. Just like with so much with the Inspired Classroom, we get so many teachers from different realms of education. Art teachers, general ed teachers, special ed teachers, elementary teachers, primary level, middle school, and sometimes, yes, even some high school teachers, which I love getting inside of our workshops and courses and retreats. So let's go into some of these questions. I have them up here on the screen for me to see. One is, how do I build a caring classroom culture when I only see my students once a week? I'm an art teacher. All right, so one of the big things that we dug into that helps with student behavior and helps with teacher burnout is establishing a caring classroom culture. That's one of the 5 reset steps inside the framework that is so crucial to both of those things and ultimately to creating a classroom where you actually enjoy teaching. And so, all right, so how do I build a caring classroom when I only see students once a week? Okay, so a lot of the strategies that we talked about, can lend themselves so well to, let's say, an elementary school teacher who sees his or her students every day, all day practically, right? And so this question often comes up with a lot of these types of strategies. And I want you to remember, if you only see your students once a week for 45 to 60 minutes, or if you see your students sporadically, like if you see them in small groups for reading instruction or special ed instruction or, speech, whatever it might be, and we've had all those types of teachers and educators inside of these courses, the focus really you need to remember that your focus is on the routines that you establish in your classroom, regardless of how many students you have in there, regardless of what content you're teaching and how often you actually see them. Some of the simplest things like greeting the students by name, having them come in and maybe do something that's a routine for them, whether it's gathering their things and sitting down and having them do a soft start to just kind of get them into the classroom, having a mindful moment where they can sit and kind of just get themselves ready, having a question of the day or something they can do on a bulletin board or your whiteboard as they enter in, just to kind of be part of your physical classroom and then get themselves transitioned and ready to focus on the learning. Remember, this is not about how much time you have with your students, but it's about that quality time, that quality of connection. And so using a lot of these different tools and strategies can be so helpful to just create that culture that you're going for inside your classroom. So that's just a little scratch on the surface to try and answer that question about, just when you see them once a week as opposed to all day, every day. Let's see. Another question came in from a SPED teacher. She said, I'm a special ed teacher. Will these strategies work with my students who have behavioral and emotional needs? And yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The strategies that we looked at inside the challenge, and remember, you can still get access to that by going to theinspiredclassroom.com/challenge. You can get access to the replays now through Sunday. And let's see, the strategies that you have are built in connection and consistency and creativity, right? And all of those things are going to help improve student behaviors and get their emotional needs met while you're in the classroom with them. So I can't stress the importance of those foundational social and emotional skills that we really need to address inside of our classrooms and also provide for and give students some support and some practice with those. And so having those types of activities in your classroom, regardless of what your classroom is, regardless of what you teach, you may have the students for 30 minutes a couple of times a week for rudimentary reading practice and instruction. Still so important to have those foundations inside your classroom for your students. Okay, and then I love this question. What do I do when a student just refuses to follow directions? Okay, because we talked about inside the challenge and inside the classroom reset, which I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes for in just a couple minutes. So many of the things are creative. That's an underlying theme for the Inspired Classroom. It is bringing creativity and the arts as a means to really engage students in their learning, giving your students creative and artistic experiences to help them with their learning. And so a lot of times you may get students who at first are kind of taken aback by that, and they may actually refuse to participate. And to that I say, okay, that's okay. If you're doing a stretch break, something as simple as a stretch break for a brain break, and you have a couple students who are really not into that and really just refusing to do that, that's okay. As far as I'm concerned, as long as they are being respectful, they're staying seated or staying in their spot and allowing the rest of the class to participate, I'm fine with them refusing. Because here's the key. When you start to implement these strategies that we talked about inside the challenge that are based on creativity and the arts, when you start to implement them on a consistent basis, that student or those students are going to start to see and get more comfortable with what you're doing. They're going to start to understand that it's part of your classroom culture. This is part of how you approach teaching and how you want to invite your students to approach their learning. And so slowly but surely, if you keep consistent, those students who refuse just could become the students that are asking for it later on. And it's all about your attitude towards things, how you bring this about, and how you create that safe, caring classroom culture that really does invite students into these various creative experiences you want your students to have. All right. All right, and then I'm gonna end on this question here. It says, how can I start implementing things that you taught in the challenge without throwing out everything I've already planned for the fall? And I want you to keep in mind, especially if you have participated and watched the 2-day workshops of the challenge. Okay, and each workshop is just an hour. So if you are still interested in going back and rewatching, remember it's only an hour. You can even speed it up, like I love doing when I'm here on YouTube. Just speed it up, and get to some of the good stuff that you really want to have sink in. But this is not about replacing what you do. It might replace a few routines. It might replace how you do certain things, but that's the point. This is about a reset for you and your classroom, and that's going to infiltrate into how your students are behaving and how you're coming to the classroom every single day. So this is about transforming things that you already do. Adding in here and there something that's creative, something that's going to allow your students to have their social emotional needs met and help them to grow. It's a lot about you, your reflection of yourself as a teacher, and how you can improve yourself and improve things as you continue on. All right. So now let's take a quick look behind the scenes. I have the course pulled up. Here we go. All right, so this is a little peek into what the Classroom Reset is, okay? And let's see, there are 5 steps, okay? 5 steps. First, it's about reflecting. Second is about establishing that caring classroom culture. The third step is engagement through creativity and the arts. Then we look at how to support your students' social and emotional learning needs. And then 5 is where we take everything that you've learned and we put it into a plan that is specific for you, specific for your needs, okay? Your classroom, your content, your age group, your grade level, and of course, your students that you actually have in front of you. And this is the type of plan that you can revisit and change and adapt to what your needs are from season to season, from year to year. Okay. And if you click into these, you'll see that each of these modules has a set of lessons. Okay. This one, I love this lesson right here, proactive strategies that work, all about being proactive with certain things so that you're not constantly feeling like you're reactive with student behaviors. That's an awesome lesson right there. And then you've got, let me go back here, the second step, which is, go back this way, establishing a caring classroom culture. And look at all the lessons that we go through, building relationships, not just teacher-student relationships, but also peer-to-peer. So important for having a caring classroom culture is giving your students an opportunity to build relationships with each other in various and very authentic ways. Right, let's keep going. Third step, engagement. And we talk about these 3 key parts of being creatively engaged: creativity, play, so important, play, and arts integration. So we're going to touch on all of those. And then we look at how to support your students' social emotional needs. We'll talk about what SEL is and that it is not a program. This is not an extra curriculum that you need to additionally teach. No. That's not what this is about. This is about embedding social and emotional growth into what you're already doing. Here's a couple of lessons that teachers really, really enjoy. Empathy. I know that empathy is something huge that so many teachers are looking to build inside their classroom. And this one right here, resiliency. Key players when it comes to students in the classroom. And then finally, we look at your reset plan, building your plan that you can take with you on a physical piece of paper. Here's mine. And yes, I actually did do this myself. I'm not just giving you a bunch of fluff here. I'm talking about things that actually are going to work for you. This course takes 19 years of me working with other teachers and gives you the best of what we've been working on for 19 years in different courses and workshops and retreats, and puts them into this 5-step reset framework. So good. It is the best of the best that could come out of the Inspired Classroom, okay? And not to mention my 26 years in the actual classroom myself. Still going strong, going to 27 this coming fall. All right. I also wanted to show you, because if you join the Classroom Reset Group Coaching Program through Sunday, you're also going to get some added bonuses. You're going to get this right here. Whoa, that came up fast. The behavior blueprint. Because let's face it, sometimes the challenging behaviors are not just the ones that you see day to day, but they become a little extreme, right? And so what this resource can do is bring you through how to navigate these behaviors, how to track the behaviors, and how to communicate about the behaviors. All right, because sometimes the behaviors are not just something we can handle ourselves in our own classrooms, and we have to start thinking about how can we really do some good for this student and for ourselves and for the other 20-something kids in our classroom, to really make sure that we are handling these disruptive behaviors the way that they should be handled. And so I've taken all the guesswork out of this. I've got tracking tools that are simple to use, easy peasy, plug and play type of stuff here. I even included a communication guide where you will get, report card comments, phone scripts that will help you to communicate to parents, to administrators, to whomever you need, that is going to help you to work with this student. So that's just one bonus you get inside from now and through Sunday. The other couple things are right here. I'm giving you also this amazing workshop. It's called Reignite Your Passion for Teaching. As you can see right here, it's a 2-hour workshop that leads you through some really amazing creative teacher self-care work. This is not just me telling you to go take a yoga class and then, get a massage. Also amazing things to do for yourself. But this is really about taking care of your teacher self, your professional self as well. So in this workshop, I take you through so many great exercises to really reignite your passion for teaching. Staying true. It comes with to the title. It comes with its own workbook here. You get a certificate, and I've even included an added bonus here. 52 teacher affirmations. Comes with a little video here too, and you can there's so many different things you can do with that, and I lead you through all of them. And I also am giving you, if you join the Classroom Reset Group Coaching Program now through Sunday, you're also going to get this self-care solutions. This is another really great workshop that helps you to go through your needs and bring you through your solutions that are going to work for you. This is very personalized stuff. I'm not about generic self-care ideas, okay? I'm about you getting to what you actually need. So important. So important. So those are the 3 added extra bonuses you get when you join the Classroom Reset Group Coaching Program. You get the Behavior Blueprint, the Reignite Your Passion for Teaching, and the Self-Care Solutions. Not to mention, now through Sunday, today's Thursday, now through Sunday, you're also going to have $50 off as a great savings. And if you pay in full, I'll give you an added month inside the group coaching program. What makes it a group coaching program? Well, not only do you get all of that coursework that you can work through at your own pace during the 6 or the 7 months that you're inside the program, but you're also going to get monthly group coaching, which means we meet as a group on Zoom. I give a short workshop session, and then we talk. You ask questions. You bring forth what kind of things you are looking for, what kind of issues you might be having, what questions you might have. And we just go through it all. Such good stuff. And you'll have all your questions answered by me, and you'll also have your other people that are inside the program as well. All right. Now through Sunday, I want you to consider joining. So go to theinspiredclassroom.com/yes to learn more and to get yourself enrolled. And I can't wait to see you inside the Classroom Reset.